What's up out there? We are back with another entry into my off-the-shelf series, and Steam Next Fest started on Monday, October 13th. It will end this coming Monday, October 20th, and I have tried a ton of demos, roughly 28, 29 demos. I can't remember what my initial count was, but I installed a bunch of stuff on Monday. I did a deep dive into idle games, and then that's what this video is going to be. Tomorrow's video is going to be, if I get it out tomorrow, it's going to be all the other games that I tried, the shooters, the RPGs, things like that. But today is a big focus on idle games. I know a lot of you guys like them, and I like them myself. So I did a deep dive and scrolled through all the idle games. The rest of the games that were out there, like the story games and stuff like that, some of those are going to be really hard to get into because they're going to take more time to really investigate than like an idle game. You can get you can figure out whether you're going to like an idle game fairly quickly or not. And some of the other games, they're going to take some time. I liked a lot of the stuff that I tried, but there's only so much time in the day, and I've only had so much time over the last few days. So I tried to give at least 10 to 15 minutes for every game that I tried. And some games I actually spent more time with, and some games I spent a little bit less with. I either said, hey, this is kind of cool and I like it and I don't need to spend more time with it. You kind of see what it's going for. Other games I just got sucked into and played for a while. And this is not a review for any of these games. This is just basically, hey, this game looks cool. If you want it on your radar, go for it. I need to put a big caveat on this. I don't know how many of these demos are going to last past October 20th. Because not every developer leaves their demo up past Steam Next Fest. Some of them take it down. Some of them leave it up. I think some of them use it as like feedback, and then they take the demo down, they go work on their game a little bit, and then maybe they come back at the next one or something with a new demo. I'm not exactly sure how all that goes, but some demos may still be available after this. If you're interested in them, make sure and try them before the October 20th deadline, and I will have all of these linked in the description box below. So let's dive in. And before we get too far down the road, I should add that these are going to be in alphabetical order. They're not like in what I think is least to grade or anything like that. They're just straight up in alphabetical order. We are going to start with Ayrton Idle. There is no release date for this one. There was just nothing listed at all. There is a windowed and full screen mode. You'll see we're in full screen, but there is a windowed mode if you want to. And this one looked like it was going to take a little bit of time to get into. So you've got various things like the shop. You've got some crafting, all these different stations over here for crafting. You've got character loadouts and things like that. What kind of drew me into this game is, and I'm guessing these unlock as you play, there's a whole bunch of different weapons over here. And the idea is that you take these weapons and you organize them up in this thing up here. And this is why I said it was going to take a little while to really dive into this one and fully understand it. And I just didn't spend the time with it. But basically you take these attacks and you put them in first to last priority. And then you go out here and you do adventure mode, you go into combat, and then you basically auto battle stuff, kind of like, like any other idle game would be, but it runs the rotation of whatever you've got down here and attacks the monsters. I only got so far into it. This was basically the first game I tried. It looked like it was going to be fairly involved, and I didn't want to spend the time on it because this was when I started everything on Monday, and I didn't know how long it would take to dig through everything. So this one I have probably the least amount into because I spent a decent chunk of time trying to figure out the menus and reading up on the little help and everything that came into it. So I didn't really spend a ton of time playing it. But if you are interested in this one, it will be linked below. This is Ayrton Idle. Next up is Cult of the Yellow King. Now, I was very excited for this one. This is an eldritch horror type game. I love horror. I don't necessarily like horror games like survival games or jump scares or anything like that. I like more stuff like this. It's got the horror themes to it. And I was very excited to try this one. And when I tried it, I spent a decent chunk of time on it. I'm going to gush on this game for a while because I really liked it and I had a great time playing it. I ended up lighting all the buttons up that could light up. There's a couple of these that don't because they're not in the demo. And if you click on this button, I don't know what this is, like it's a ascendancy or something, I'm not sure, but this is out of the demo scope, so you can't really do anything with that. And as you click on this button here and summon whispers, eventually it lights up one of these other buttons. And then once you've built enough of the other button, it lights up the next one and the next one and the next one. So you just keep going through. I loved this. I thought this was a really solid experience. So we go make a bunch of these things. We go make a bunch of these things. We cannot hit some of the lower stuff because we need the cult research shelter. So that is not up. Yeah, there's the cult research shelter. So as you play this, you will unlock these different buttons. You'll get different goofy, whatever these horror things are, maggots or whatever the fleshy brain sucking monster is over here. Like all this stuff builds up. I love it. I think this has got a great aesthetic to it. And like I said, I got everything, just about everything that was unlocked. There was something that was like 500,000 insider knowledge or something. There was something that was a bit beyond, but within about 20 minutes, I had unlocked everything for this one. And that's my only complaint, is that this game it seems fairly short. There's supposed to be a big story to it. I don't know what the ascensions look like. Like, are you just going to be going through these same steps over and over and over and over again? I don't know. I liked what I saw. It feels very short. I'm very intrigued by it. There's no release date for it. And it's got a really killer soundtrack. I'm not going to play any of it because I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, but I sat there and it's got like a heavy metal soundtrack. I loved it. I loved everything about this game. And I am going to stop gushing about it now because I'm going to have to just move on to other games. But I loved this one, and this is one I am very much looking forward to. I guess this isn't all Idle games. This is a clicker. This is Cyber Shard Clicker. There is no release date set for this one. Pretty much what you do is you click the connect button, and then you have to go chase down these little green balls that are bouncing around, or whatever's bouncing around in here. There might be red boxes or something. But you go click on these things until they explode, and you can click on multiples at once. You got to wait for them to spawn. Click on them. You're good to go. And once you get done, once this timer runs out, you're done. You have to go back in, or you have the ability to go and do some upgrades. You've got a Path of Exile style passive tree up here. You've got the different currencies you've got, like red data shards, green data shards, data orbits. You've got the gold, I think it is, up here. And then you level up with XP. I don't remember what the level up does, but I thought this was cool. This is not exactly an Idle game, which I guess I should have put Idle/clickers on here, but I forgot this one was a clicker. And then as you go through here, like I need vault keys, which I don't have. To upgrade that, I can upgrade this to the auto clicker can go up to 200%. What do we get with this? That's increased click areas as big as it's going to get. We can do more damage, so we can take that and do the max damage. This one is manual click. Not sure what that does. But then you basically just go back in here, blast through these things, try to generate as much coin and everything to upgrade stuff as you can. I had a good time playing this one. I sat and played it for a good little bit. I got kind of into it, and you get into a rhythm of playing this, and you kind of just lose track of time, which is always a good thing. But this is Cyber Shard Clicker. I got to get the name right. Had a good time playing it. Looking forward to the full release of this one. This is Desktop Colony. There is a release date for this one of October 22nd, 2025. This one actually plays over the top of your desktop, like this little space station is over the top of whatever you have for your wallpaper or whatever, and you can move it around, or you can tell it to do full screen mode with the little spacey background like I've got set up here. I just wanted to have it set up like this so I could do videos. You don't need to see my desktop, but nothing exciting there, so I just put this into full screen mode, but there are options for both, which I thought was really cool. This one is basically an idler where you're adding on stuff to the space station to make things work. So what you do is you launch a probe. You can go to these different areas. Like I have to buy this one for 10,000. I could go to this asteroid belt here, and we need to move that thing out of the way. We zoom in and we blow up a chunk of it. Let's see, right click to zoom around or pan around, and you can control how big the explosion is or how big the mining section is. We'll look at that here in a second. There was only two pieces of ore to find here. We found them both, so we'll go back. And then once you're back into here, you'll notice there's different sections. Like you start off with the free section, and then once you're able to afford the asteroid belt, you can go into there. And then obviously there's more and more as you go further. But once you've mined up some stuff, you can come into the buildings and build different things. So there's the hab, which increases your colonists. You've got the impactor, which is the size of the dig impactors, the ammo fab, which gives you more shots to fire at the planets. You've got the recycler, which I think this is what automated everything. And then you've got the smelter, which does some stuff for like iron nodes or whatever it does. I still haven't quite got that one sorted out yet. But like we can go in here, this is going to cost 1.97K to build some more recyclers. You'll see those are these little blue things flying around. We'll go add a couple more of those. They're in orbit here. I don't think you can only pan and zoom, or I'm sorry, you can only zoom in and out. You can't like rotate this or whatever. But we could go build some more ammo fab. We could go build another smelter or whatever. You get out of this thing, you go back and launch a probe, and you come in here and try to get these, try to find the ore on the planet. Now you'll see that I have a pretty sizable, I can mine a pretty sizable chunk at once. When you first start off, it's fairly small, and you'll run out of ammo before you get there. So you're increasing the size of the shot you can take and the amount of ammo that you have. And that is as far as I've gotten with this game. Like I said, I spent about 10 minutes with it. I thought it was really cool. This is a very interesting concept, and I love to see different ideas, which you're going to see some really cool ideas coming up here. But I liked this one. I thought it was very cool, and I'm excited to see when this one launches. This is Duncrush. I would describe this as an idle version of Vampire Survivors, and you can move around wherever you want on the screen, and you can kind of see what I mean by the Vampire Survivor style stuff, but then I'm not touching any of the buttons while he's wailing on things. Eventually, once you fill the bar up at the bottom, you'll fight the boss, and then when you beat the boss, you get to choose to go to the second floor and see what that is, or go back out and level up. This is a very cool game. It's like every other game. I like what I've played so far, and I'm very much looking forward to what comes next. So once you beat this, you can go get all your stuff. You can hit the exit, and then you can choose to either go forward or go out here. Once you go out here, you've got this thing, which has stuff you can claim for achievements or whatever. You've got this, which is your passive tree. There's certain things that aren't available in the demo. And then you've got this where you can upgrade your stuff. If it's got a little exclamation point, it's ready to upgrade. And then you just go back in and do it again. When you come in here, you start from the very beginning. This is the first floor. So it's kind of I don't want to say a rogue style, but it's one where you have to start over from the very beginning and then work back through. Kind of a rogue style, but sort of not. I still think it's more of an idle Vampire Survivors. But anyway, I thought this was a very cool game. I had a good time playing it. And again, I'm looking forward to it. This one's coming out on October 27th. And yeah, if you're interested, it will be linked down below. This is the DVD Idle game. Now, if you're old like me and you grew up with DVDs, this thing bouncing around the screen will be kind of familiar to you. So you've got a variety of options. You can add more speed to it, add additional discs, up to 17 of them. You can add multipliers so that they generate points faster. You can also make them move quicker. There is, once you get enough points, there's the next shop, which is this thing here, which is this dial-up thingy. Once you start putting points into this, it does this bandwidth thing up here. I'm still not quite sure what all this thing does yet. And once you've got enough, it'll unlock the next door. Now, as these things are flying around, now when they first start off, they're moving very slow, and you got to click on these to generate your points. But as you play, this is an idle game, it starts automatically generating stuff for you. So like we can come over here and see what this next thing is. This one is adding colors. Okay, I don't know what colors are for, but sure. Got 5,000, right? Nah, I don't know what the rest of these do. But anyway, I had a good time with this one. And do we have a release date? No, there is no release date. I got kind of addicted into this one. Spent a little bit of time playing it. I had a good time with it. Once you see number go up, and once you start unlocking all this stuff, like it just kind of perpetuates itself. But I had a good time with this one. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, there's no release date, but this is the DVD Idle game. Very cool game. I love weird and cool concepts like this because it's somebody taking a chance doing something that you would not think about. You know what I mean? This is Execute. The entire concept of this is to take the population over here and reduce it to 0 with guillotines. That's the game. That's the whole concept right there. I sat here when I was playing it the other day and I was laughing like a maniac playing this thing, having just an absolute blast with it. As you off people with the guillotine, you make money. You make cash. I guess you get cash out of these guys. Yeah, okay, so you get cash out of these guys. You get gold from the rewards of meeting certain goals or whatever. And then You can make grease out of the bodies that are there. You can increase the grease amount, the blood capacity, the grease time. So you get grease and blood from this. You've got a jail that you can put people into, so you can increase your capture amount, how many you capture at a time, and things like that. You've got the guillotines where you got to go drop them into to make the money. You've got the grease machine. You've got the jail to capture people and everything like that. You've got the mines, so you can put people in the mines to generate ore, to iron or whatever. So we go pull people in. And there's ways of automating some of this. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but there are ways to automate some of this. That's what the little worker thing and the auto thing is. There's another thing down here, this light deal. I'm not quite sure what this thing does exactly, but this thing, once you have enough people and this button lights up, you can actually shock a whole pile of people off. So that's the game. And like I said, I sat here like an idiot the other day, just giggling and laughing, playing this thing. And so basically what you have to do is cycle between all these different things. So you got to go make grease. You got to go fill up the mines. You got to make sure you're capturing people. This thing will pop up and say you can fill up and execute some people. We can execute more at a time. We can do that. We can do captures. We can throw this on auto. I think the auto runs off this light thing. So as long as it's doing its thing down there, and then as these pop up, you got to go address whatever issue is lit up. So we got to go get more people. We got to go make some more paste. We've got to go fill up the mines. And then you get all your currencies and all that over here. So as you're playing, like you're just maniacally going back and forth between all these different things that are popping up at you. I think the pit is like permanent upgrade type stuff. So you just basically bounce back and forth between all this stuff and, you know, guillotine everybody off. And these give you the upgrade materials for the rest of it. I might be some kind of weird psychopath, but I had a blast playing this, and I am very, 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 very excited for this game to release, and I just can't wait. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what uranium does and like launch them to eliminate mass population and cause nuclear fallout. This sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I have very much enjoyed what I've played. This is supposed to be out in November, and this is Execute. This is a game about feeding a black hole. It is literally in the name. So you've got these different gold nuggets, you've got asteroid matter or whatever it is, and the concept is to make this black hole bigger and bigger and bigger, and you've got a time limit. Up here, you've got this time, I'm out of time. Now I get whatever asteroid matter and stuff and money that I've collected. I can come out here to the passive tree, select options over here, and go back and start doing it again. This is a short little game from what I gather. I don't know how long it's supposed to be. Probably a couple hours or something like that. The Steam page lists this as a shorter game. It's pretty addicting though. I sat here for a while and I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to play and everything. And, you know, just getting into it and all that. And I got lost for a little while. I played this one, I don't want to say longer than I should have, but I played this one a little bit longer than some of the other stuff that I was working on. Again, it's an addicting little idle style game, and it's more of a clicker game than it is an idle game, I guess. I probably should say clicker/idle in my description for this video, because essentially that's what it is a combination of the two things. But this is pretty cool. This is a game about feeding a black hole. It is releasing on November 10th, 2025. Gridle is what I would call more of an active idle game. This is a bit of a clicker, bit of an idle game. If you click on this guy, you heal him. If you click on the monster, you kill it. Essentially, that's how it goes. He will auto attack, but you can keep him healed unless he's getting like one shot or something like that. There are various upgrades. There's the rebirth, ascendancy type thing, and then there's different skills. You've got the knight, archer, mage, and miner, and each of these are, you know, they all have their different skills and things like that, and how much arrows and hoods, whatever. The knight gets max health, sharp blade. So as you get coin and experience, you can level him up. As you get whatever you need over here for the cursor, you can get your attack a little bit better, your health a little bit better, that kind of thing. Let's see here. I don't have anything in my inventory, so I'm not sure what I would do there. But I thought this was pretty cool. I think this one I would need to spend a little bit more time with. To be honest with you, this is one that I don't want to say I glossed over it, but this one looks like it would take a little bit more time than what I was giving it to try out. Like, to actually get into it and see where these different classes go, to see what the equipment, things like that go. Like, I'm level 5, I'm attacking a boss, so I probably need to heal him a little bit. Yeah, he just got straight up one shot. So like I said, I would probably need to spend a little bit more time with this one. And maybe we need to go back to level 4 and let him sit on this for a little while. Maybe upgrade the cursor and stuff like that. Maybe give him a little more health, something like that. But like, this one seemed like I needed to spend a little bit more time with it, just to really dive into it and understand how to play it and to see where it was actually going. I liked what I've played. There is a release date in December. They didn't give an actual date. They just put December sometime. There is the option of full screen, or I'm on full screen now, or windowed if you want, but it is kind of an active game where you got to kind of keep this guy healed. So I felt like I would need to just spend more time with it. I'm sure you could get it to an idle point at some point, but like I said, I enjoyed what I've played of it. I did not spend probably enough time to really gush over this game, but I still thought it was pretty cool to pass forward. And this is Gridle with an expected release date in December. Legends of Dragaea is what I would call an idle version of like Wizardry or something like that from way back in the day. So basically, you've got a party of 3, you're running around, you're killing monsters in a dungeon. When you get done with the dungeon, you die or complete it or whatever it is you do here. There is a town you can go to and equip your characters and things like that. I need to spend a little bit more time with this one. It was one that it looks very intriguing, but it looks like it's going to need, like I would need to actually spend some time with it to really sink into it and get a really good understanding of it. This one is supposed to be releasing on November 3rd, 2025. And I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed trying this one out. This is a very unique and interesting kind of an idle game, because it's, like I said, it's like a Wizardry style game, but yet it's an idle game playing itself. There is a full screen or a windowed version of this. I believe there's windowed. I looked in, there's a full screen option, so I presume there is a windowed version as well. I've just been playing it like this, and what time I did sink into it was this. But another really cool concept. I cannot wait to see how this one turns out. This is The Legends of Dragaea, and it is releasing November 3rd, 2025. And finally, we're going to take a look at a game called Loot of Idle. And yes, we are stopping at the L's. I did not see any other games in MNOXZ or whatever. There was nothing else past this in the idle section that looked cool, so we're ending on L's. There's no release date for this one. It does have full screen or windowed options, and I think this was a pretty cool game. It did get a little bit fiddly for my taste. Like, you have to monitor, this is your loot pool over here. You have to monitor this for anything that has like a green plus on it. And as this stuff is just kind of scrolling by, you got to find it. So I thought that was kind of annoying, and it just kind of starts dropping things because you've filled your inventory up. Now you've got this over here with everything you've got equipped, and you can right click and send things over into here. However, you right click to equip them. To get rid of them in the delete key, you have to drag and drop. So if you fill this whole side up over here trying to keep up with this feed of things into the loot pool, you're going to fill this up and you're going to have to keep dragging stuff off. So it was a little bit fiddly for my taste. The game does look cool, and I think it's worth passing along. I think it's worth keeping an eye on. There is no release date, so who knows what they're going to do with this. I'm sure they're going to take whatever feedback you get from they get from this game or from this demo and do something with it. And maybe there's a little bit more to it. Maybe there's some idle things where you get like loot filters or something like that. I didn't give this as much time as I probably needed to. It's, there's too many other games to try out. So it's in here. I thought it was worth passing along, but it is a little bit fiddly. So those are all of the idle games that I tried out in this October's Steam Next Fest. And that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this, definitely give it a like and all that. But list down any games that you tried during Next Fest that you might think I'd be interested in, or somebody else might be interested in. Like, were there any other cool idle games that I missed off this list, or something that I didn't have in here? Is there any other games that looked cool? I'm going to have a video out tomorrow for all the other games that I tried. But yeah, let me know if there was anything cool that I missed, and I'll check it out or give it a look. But that is going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.